The white light runs through the darkness. Saber, running up to the Golden Knight without hesitation, slashes her sword down by lightning. One blow, two blow, three, four. Each time Saber's sword finds the enemy, the blinding light is released. Combinations like a strobe. It's just like when I first saw Saber when she fought Lancer. Saber drives magical energy into her sword and strikes with it like lightning. The sword and armor clash. The man hasn't even drawn his weapon yet. With Saber's sword in front of him, he is just protecting his head with his hands. That man does not have the skill to block Saber's sword. Saber is much better than this man at sword techniques. And on top of that, Saber's sword is invisible. Even if the man had a weapon, I don't think he would be able to block that invisible sword. The invisible sword keeps hitting the man's armor. The sword smashes against the armor, shaves it, letting off lightning sparks. All the man can do is protect his head with his hands. This isn't even a match. This is just a one-sided elimination. But still, the golden armor retains its shape. If the armor is free of damage, even after taking Saber's attacks so many times, could it be that his noble phantasm is his golden armor? I guess any more would be bad. I guess any more would be bad. You certainly do have a large supply of magical energy. My armor does not give up often, but the enemy who is merely defending raises his arm, not towards Saber. I don't know why, but the man raises his hand towards the night sky and... Enough playing around. Offer me your body right here. Is it an illusion? In his hand? A short sword like Geki is in his hand. Saber attacks with all of her might, but the enemy repels it with his dark red sword. That is a noble phantasm bearing a curse of vengeance? Saber distances herself and glares at the sword in her enemy's hands. The fact that the enemy has revealed his weapon is a threat. But at the same time, it means that the enemy's attacks are revealed. It doesn't matter if his noble phantasm is a sword or armor. As long as you can see it, you're able to deal with it. Saber readies herself. As the man said, his armor is at its limits. If Saber relaunches her fierce barrage of attacks, she should be able to slash him through his armor. Even if he has brought out his noble phantasm, it won't make a difference to the fact that the next blow will decide the match. This is it. Let us decide the match we could not finish before, Archer. The sword in her hand is still invisible. Readying the holy sword sealed in wind, Saber stares at her enemy. It seems Saber knows what the noble phantasm is. That's why she's intentionally distanced herself, and since she knows how to deal with it, she's confronting the enemy straight on. If their noble phantasms are swords, and if the sword's abilities are equal, the deciding factor will be their own sword techniques. By that theory, Saber has to win. Alright, then come at me, bro. In deference to her sword, I shall show you everything I have. The man laughs. Fine. Saber charges without hesitation. Saber's sword will slash his armor for sure. The instant I think that... Gate of Babylon. An invisible door opens behind the man. What? Saber's body stops. The weapon the enemy takes are different from the previous dark red sword. The first is an invisible sword like Saber's. As soon as Saber defends against it, the man is holding yet another one. The sword is of ice. She twists her body to avoid it, but the space the sword goes through freezes. Saber retreats, covered in ice. As the ice starts to break, the enemy holds a sickle-like weapon. She instantly tries to block the weapon approaching her neck with her gauntlet, but it's useless. The sickle goes through her armor like the gauntlet isn't there and takes away her magical energy, as if cutting away her bone and not her flesh or blood. Saber totters but manages to stay standing. It is a different kind of retreat now. not to distance herself and prepare for the next attack. It's a desperate retreat just to get away from the enemy. That is impossible. Saber glares at the enemy, drawing magical energy into her arm. My handles are floating around the man. Many handles are not my handles. Oh, jeez. That's what slaughtered Castor. And those are the noble phantasms of the Golden Knight who cornered Saber. It's a scene that makes even me want to doubt my own eyes. The handles floating behind him are surely those of noble phantasms, not just 10 or 20. No, even though I can't see them, I can feel that they are infinite, from all times and spaces, as if to say, that servant has all the divine mysteries from every legend. Archer, who are you? Saber's voice is trembling. The servant will not answer when asked their true identity, but the enemy's noble phantasm is so strange that Saber has to ask. Answer me, Archer! A heroic spirit can only have one noble phantasm. No, some have more, but 2 should be the limit. A heroic spirit with infinite noble phantasms cannot exist. Cannot exist? You are jumping to conclusions, Saber. Heroic spirits, noble phantasms are the weapons they had when they were alive. So this is a simple story. All these noble phantasms are things I collected while I was alive. Are you insulting me, Archer? This is even more impossible. No matter who you are, it would be impossible for you to collect all of the noble phantasms, the symbols of other heroic spirits. No such heroic spirits exists. Saber is right. All the noble phantasms he has are real. There are demonic swords from Northern Europe and demonic swords from South America. No hero made his name in so many different places, and first of all, only Lancer has Gaybolg. Heroic spirits, noble phantasms, are the weapons that they had when they were alive. But by that rule, as soon as he has Gaybolg, he has to be Ku Chulain. But he isn't. So that lance cannot be Gaybolg. But the thing is, that is definitely the real Gaybolg. This could be all explained if it was a fake, but as long as it's real, this contradiction is... No, hold on. Original, the model of weapon. It can't be, but... Wait! It is possible. Myths and legends do not start from nothing. All myths have common points because a single foundation became their model. Because legends that became objects of faith are only those that originate in that land. I think demonic swords and holy swords start having special abilities around that time. So before that, what if the noble phantasms and myths and legends had a form they were given names? Before they were given names, rather. Oh, it seems your master is not so bad after all. He has a hunch about my true identity. Huh? Saber looks towards me. So far away. I can't even help her if she's so far away. My body has only recovered to the point where I can barely move my fingers. Run! Saber, his noble phantasm is... real, right? Yes, it is really simple, Saber. Let me tell you about the most ancient time, when the world was still one. The kingdom flourished, and the king collected every treasure in the world. There was nothing he could not collect, and he lacked nothing. The king had a perfect treasury, and the masses of weapons in there were never used, but instead went to sleep with the king. The story is that simple. After the king's death, the contents of the treasury room spread all over the world. They were valued because they were splendid swords, and they eventually became noble phantasms. Do you understand, King of Knights? The noble phantasms you use are just the king's possessions. It's like inheritance. If you go back far enough, a model must exist. So it is only natural for every legend, myth, folklore, and noble phantasm to have an original model. And, in the distant past, if it was possible to collect all their models, then one could possess all of the noble phantasms. Only one hero could correspond to that. One with origins in a legend far older than that of King Arthur or Hercules. One said to rule over the ancient Mesopotamia, the half-god, half-human king who collected treasures as he wished and sought immortality at the end. His name was Gilgamesh, mankind's oldest king of heroes. She sounds as if she is holding back fear. The Golden Knight, Gilgamesh, accepts the shock with satisfaction. Indeed, I am the strongest heroic spirit. You shall be no match. And the Golden Knight moves forward. There's nothing else to talk about. All that remains for him is to use his many noble phantasms to defeat his enemy. Oh, you would still oppose me after you know my name. You must know you have no chance of winning. I do not know unless I try. Even the King of Heroes must have something he cannot surpass. Saber's surroundings waver. Oh shit. The wind starts to twirl and becomes a raging gale to protect her. At the same time, the golden sword appears. No, Saber! It can't be. Saber's going to use the Excalibur? Gilgamesh stops. He too must know the holy sword's power as his composure vanishes. Saber keeps glaring at Gilgamesh and looks in my direction for an instant. Is she telling me to run? Gilgamesh has his back to the river and Saber is over here. It must have been when she attacked him earlier. Before I realize that Saber is confronting Gilgamesh to protect me. No, you can't use it here. I pour strength into my limbs. Even if I try to use my numb body, all I can move is one of my arms. But I still collect all of the magical energy in my body to raise my body with that one arm. Damn it. My senses were gone, but every bone in my body starts to scream once I start moving. The pain is a warning. The pain is telling me I will break if I move any further. I ignore it and raise my body. I bear my pain. I don't have time to deal with it. I have to get up quickly and protect Saber, because I have a bad feeling about this. A premonition I felt when I faced that enemy. She will never be able to beat him. The instinctive feeling that I should never let Saber fight him won't go away. A holy sword, huh? Fine. The twirling wind is now a raging storm. Even with the holy sword shining in front of him, the Golden Knight does not back away. Moreover, then I shall use a weapon appropriate against it. He pulls an incongruous sword from the gate behind him. Oh. That's the cause of my bad feeling. The sword does not appear in any legend. God, just look at this art. It is so good. Type Moon's really good. I could identify every one of the noble phantasms that were floating behind him, but even I cannot tell what that sword is. I have the original models of all the noble phantasms, but they are all nameless, and I am not their only possessor. A cylindrical sword. The sword is made of 3 parts, and each part is turning slowly in different directions. It looks like a rock drill to pierce through a hard surface. But this is different. This sword is truly a sword that only the King of Heroes possesses. It has no name, so I just call it Aya. Are you saying we shall just compare the strengths of our noble phantasms? The light concentrates. There's only about 10 meters between them. Within that distance, Gilgamesh shouldn't even be able to dodge her attack. Right. You do not need to hold back. I have always wanted to take the sword said to be the most powerful. His laughter echoes through the park. She must consider that provocation. All right. Then try to defend yourself against my sword. Saber's sword moves. Her lips move to say its true name. There's nowhere to run. The noble phantasm released with its true name will smash all of its power onto Gilgamesh. It's your turn. Wake up, Aya. The cylindrical sword, Aya, roars. Oh, man. In response to Gilgamesh's words, the 3 blades turn with a whirring sound. If Saber's Excalibur brings on a whirlwind by releasing the wind, Gilgamesh's Aya creates a storm by swallowing the surrounding winds. Oh, man. This is so great. X. Saber is more experienced with anti-castle noble phantasms. It's faster than Aya's roar. Saber pours magical energy into the sword up to its limits in a matter of seconds and executes it with the greatest power. Calibur! There is no hesitation. Saber releases the holy sword that can even split a river in two. Just before that, Enuma Elish! A light of the same magnitude takes on Excalibur's light. Whoa, that's fucking awesome. A huge impact. The raging wind knocks over trees and the crashing lights become an exploding sun burning my eyes. No, my body is almost blown away by the wind. I managed to dig myself into the ground with one hand and endure the waves of light and heat. How long will the conflict last? The battle of the two rumblings that make me fear the earth is going to split into two is... suddenly ended with her figure surrounded by a white light. A crash. I hear something falling right beside me. Saber? What it is, I can tell even with my blinded eyes. Oh no. Look, her blood has soaked her hair. Ugh. Wow. That's fucking brutal. I thought she might be dead. That's how torn up Saber is. I'm not gonna do a laugh. In the distance, the Golden Knight is laughing crazily unscathed. Huh! So the most powerful holy sword is only that strong, huh? Humanity's illusions are mere child's play after all. His laugh is high-pitched, and it seems like it will carry over the burning air into the heavens. Is it that much fun? He doesn't even look at Saber as he laughs only for his own sake. Versus Gilgamesh, what I want to protect. Skip this scene. Wait, what? Why? Wait. Why is it asking me to skip this scene? Skip this scene? Cancel? Saber. There's no reply, but blood gushes out from her mouth as she tries to gasp. My vision turns red. What was I doing? I knew this was going to happen. I knew Saber wouldn't be able to beat Gilgamesh, so why didn't I stop her or even use my command spell? But this is rather boring. A complete victory for me, huh? I'm disappointed that you could not even offset my attack, Saber. Oh, I see. I should have taken it easier on you, after all. I am fighting women and children. His irritating laugh. The responsibility is mine. I thought she could win, no matter how bad it felt. I thought Saber's Excalibur would be able to beat him. That's why even though I told her to stop, my command spell did not react. I wasn't serious. If I really wanted to protect Saber, I could have made her run away using my command spell, and there would have been infinite ways for me to fight by myself. Well then, let me have you now. You are dirty, but you would have eventually ended up the same way. It is no problem that you are hurt now. The laughter approaches. She must have noticed that, as Saber faintly opens her eyes. Saber, are you alright? I can see her breathing, but I can't touch her even if I reach out. My body still won't move, and I can't even run to her. So I can only call out to her. Saber! Saber's mouth opens. She breathes in as if asking for help and coughs as if even that is painful. Shirou? Are you there? She raises a faint voice telling me she cannot see me. Hold on, I can't say I'll help her. I'm on the ground too, and I can only move my arms. I can only call out to her and encourage her. She can't even see me in this ugly state. Oh, I see. I've been defeated. She speaks in a soft voice and looks at me with no light in her eyes. I am sorry, please run away, master. She says something absurd while coughing up blood. My vision turns red with anger. I completely depended on Saber unconsciously, and this is the result? I can't even stand up after a sudden attack? I grab my head with the only arms that moves. I want to kill myself, so I put strength into my hand as if to squash my head. A firing hammer goes down. I take the switch to turn myself into a magus and smash it on with a hammer instead of my finger. Never use it again. Projection magic is beyond your level, Tosaka's words. She says magic beyond one's level will destroy the caster's circuits and nerves. So what? She's more important than that. If I can't protect her, I don't need my body. She has helped me many times. There never has been anyone I cared so much about. So, if I can't protect her, Emiya Shirou can just die. I can hear sounds of metal. Metallic magical energy reinforces all the bones in my body and all the broken parts of it. I'll give it everything I have. I'll put it in the highest gear and the highest rotation from the start, and ignore my limits. I'll create as much magical energy as possible. My spine catches fire, my whole body grows red hot. I bite my tongue to bear the feeling of my brain melting. I bite down on the pink flesh. If I can keep my consciousness just by making a hole in my tongue, there's no problem. What? The footsteps stop. His laughter stops as well. What? Shirou? What are you doing? If you do that, your body will... She must feel it, even though she can't see. Saber screams, trying to get back up. That makes my last powers turn on. I stand back up. The body wouldn't obey me starts to move because of the magical energy poured in past its limits. This is like setting my body on fire to make it run towards water. But I don't care. It's better than watching Saber get hurt. That's right. I finally realize with a mind that's about to burn away. From the beginning, I swore to hold the sword because I don't want to see her hurt. What? I am telling you to run, so why? I obstruct the enemy. Saber is behind me. Now, I cannot even take one step backwards. Trace on. I hold my brain, which is rolling around on fire, and manage my mind. I am imagining only one thing. I'll divide the projection into 8 sections to create the lost sword. I feel something hard in my left hand. I don't even need to look to check. The second manufacturer of the sword proved successful without slowing down even once. Excuse me! Unprofessional of me. My sword? No, that is still not enough. You must know you cannot beat him with that. If you can move, please run away. I won't. I came to pick you up, so I can't run home by myself. I ready my sword. I hold the sword, heavier than a shinai, and glare at the enemy. Stop, Shirou! This man is... I shake off Saber's words and step forward. There's 4 meters between us. If I step forward with all my might, I'll be able to attack him. The enemy doesn't move. Gilgamesh watches me for a second, then laughs. I guess I'll kill you, he says in an emotionless voice. I instantly block the attack swung at me. You! I sway my body to the side to avoid the attack. But I'm not fast enough. If the first attack was a sudden gust, the next barrage of attacks is a raging wind. Parrying is all I can do. No, I wouldn't even need to be able to block the first attack by myself. It is fortunate that I also reproduced this memory when I reproduced the sword. A sword with a long past holds will and experience. The sword must already be familiar with such attacks. I can't judge Gilgamesh's attacks, but this sword is able to. So the sword reacts to his attacks before my hands do. I swing to follow the sword, and as a result I can block his attacks. But that doesn't last long. My fingers numb every time I swing, and slowly I cannot catch up with the sword. Mongrel, you are worse than unsightly. You must dislike even the slight resistance. He glares at me in anger and retreats a bit. Thank God. If he had kept attacking me, I would not have lasted more than a few seconds. I take a deep breath and try to control my breathing. And then, you filthy imitator, if you like it so much, I shall show you the real one. He takes out a sword. What? That is a familiar sword. The ornamentation on it is different, but its true nature, the idea of its creation and its soul are too close to those of this sword. It can't be. This sword's model. It is. But its strength, as a noble phantasm, is incomparable. What you have, the sword in the stone, originated from the legend of the Sword of Supremacy in the Tree, from Northern Europe. But this is the original model, the foundation of the sacred right to select the king. The Sword of Supremacy in the Tree. Gram, the demonic sword of Sigmund, hero of Northern Europe, its original form. Children cannot defeat their parents. An imitation that deteriorates every time it is renewed cannot match the original model. Light runs. The sword understands better than anything that this is the same attack that terminated Berserker in one slash. Must be protecting its owner. The sword in my hand goes for the enemy's sword with its utmost power. The name of the noble phantasm is Excalibur, the golden sword of assured victory. But it is destroyed without a trace by the sword called Marduk, the original sin. I hear something sliding on the ground. Sliding. Is the ground of the park slippery because it's level? I slid across the ground and finally come to a stop. Shirou! That voice makes me realize I'm still alive. Oh, Saber, you're pretty near me. Thinking so, I'm relieved. Felt like I was blown away, but it's fine if Saber's nearby. So all I have to do is get up and I can run to Saber. Huh? I look at my arm while I stay on the ground. It's red. My arm is surrounded by a red membrane and there's no blood coming out of it. Do not move! Please! Please do not move, Shirou! I can hear Saber's voice. It seems my body has been injured. That attack. I'm sure I was blown away by Gilgamesh's sword. So the wounds must be... Oh, I see. Now I understand why Saber is acting like that. I can only move my right hand. My left hand won't move. First of all, my shoulder isn't attached to my body. I can't even breathe. Diagonally down from my left shoulder, as my body is cut from the shoulder down, it's separated like Lego pieces that don't fit together. It looks like a ginkgo leaf. I guess that's a Japanese thing. I've been cut from my shoulder down to my waist. It's strange that I'm alive, but that miracle should soon run out. I'm barely conscious right now, and my vision narrows by the second. First of all, my insides will fall out if I move. Maybe I'm already dead and my mind is lingering like a ghost. I see. I thought you would be scattered, but you are rather tough. Clinging to life is the only merit of a mongrel. He laughs. Honestly, I'm thankful. The more irritating he is, the more my mind stays conscious. But that is all. A lion does not suit you. I will take that woman. Footsteps. The sound of him walking to obtain Saber for sure this time. Well, let's save here. Because we gotta save. Well, don't standing up is the coward's way out, and Shirou is not a coward. Therefore, Shirou would stand up. No, I do not wish to skip these scenes. Ha! I put power into my right hand. I grab the ground and raise my half-sliced body. I see Saber's face for an instant. She looks like she's about to cry. I'm proud of myself for falling in love with her. Hold on, I'm not done yet. I raise my body with just one arm. My legs won't move. The magical energy that forced my body to move is depleted. The only thing remaining is my beating heart and my organs screaming in pain. Oh, lingering affection. I would assume so. This treasure is beyond you. I understand how you must feel. It must be really vexing to have it taken away by another man. That does it. I can't stand his talking anymore. I'm saying don't talk like you're treating Saber as an object. I put power into my right arm. Is there metal in it? With a creaking noise, my body reacts to my wishes. I get up on one knee. Damn, do as I tell you! I put power into my body. As I do so, the things I need to live flow out. Why? Why do you not understand that it is useless now? Saber's voice is almost insulting. She's a long way away. From a distant place, she is watching me in vexation. I ignore it and keep trying. Saber's voice is just a burden. Not my body, nor Gilgamesh, but Saber is my greatest enemy now. Because if she objects with an expression like that, my mind will die. Finally, my knee has strength, so all that's left is to stand. No, I do not need your help. As I have been defeated, I am not your sword anymore. Disappearing like this is the natural end for a servant. Saber's voice. Damn. If she interrupts me anymore, I'll get mad at even her. No! Please stop, Shirou! You cannot go on! I will really die! If you die here, I will... How can she say such selfish things without knowing how I feel? Shut up! Just be quiet for a second. At times like this, you can rely on me. This is not true, Shirou. Please do not get your priorities wrong. My life is not important. You should put your life first, rather than such a thing. She sounds like she's begging. My mind almost collapses, thinking that I'm making her sound like that. But still, I refuse. There's nothing I want more than you. I can't accept her words. Saber looks at me in astonishment. I don't know why she looks like that, but I remember. She told me I was a fool who didn't know the value of his own life. I think she's right. It's too conceited for someone who can't even think about himself to try to help someone else. That's just complacent happiness, and it's an unstable happiness for the other party. The most important person is yourself. That kind of person probably can become happy and share their happiness. Yeah, I'm certainly a fool who doesn't consider his own life. I was wrong about what's most important to me. Since that day, that seat has been empty, but I'm grateful for that abnormality, because in that empty seat is sitting a person I want to save from the bottom of my heart. But Saber, this wouldn't change even if I valued my life above all. You're more beautiful than that. There's nothing inside me that can take your place. That makes me realize I didn't feel sympathy for her. The girl I saw in my dream, she fought alone and died alone. I thought she was unrewarded, but at the same time, I was charmed by her. I thought she was beautiful. She pulled out the sword and ran through her life without looking back. Her life itself was so brilliant. That's right, so I have to protect her. So that you, all alone, won't be engulfed in darkness in your last moments. That's right. So that in your last moments, on the verge of your death, so that you can be proud of your life. My doubts disappear. My path is so clear. Sorry. I love you more than anything, Saber, so I won't give you up to a guy like him. After I say that, I regret apologizing to her, but I had to say it. I wanted to say it now at this moment because there would be no impurities mixed in my words. I hear her gasp. I wanted to turn around and see, but I won't since I can't really see anymore. I get up. I can still fight if my heart is beating. My magical energy is my life. As long as my heart is beating, I'll keep on recreating her sword. Well done! So, now what? What can you do? I feel a burning heat on my right hand. Perhaps it's because I'm close to death. I remember 10 years ago. It's a terrible illusion. My body feels like it's still in that fire, reaching out for life. Go away! I can't give Saber to you. I raise my right hand and say that. Fool! I do not need your consent. The enemy raises his sword. Get down, Shirou! I hear Saber's voice from behind. I ignore it, and using my remaining magical energy, I project the sword once more. And I'm stopped by that light. Even though it's not as strong as Excalibur, the light that can burn away everything it touches is coming from me. The feeling, the heat on my body, I don't think about my death, but about Saber behind me. She'll be dragged in like this, so I have to at least protect her. I said I'd protect Saber. Yes, I wanted to protect her. She's strong, but at the same time, she could have broken down at any moment, so I have to hold steady. She's like a drawn sword, so I have to help her so she doesn't get hurt. And then, before I realize it, there's something like a sword in my right hand. What? Whose voice was that? The hesitation is only for an instant. At the same moment, the Golden Knight, the absolute victor, retreats. Shirou, let me! Saber takes my hand. The rising light stops. Right behind me is Saber. Right before me is Gilgamesh, opening his eyes and bleeding. I don't know what happened, but I know this is a repeat of the battle against Berserker. Saber used something I made and defeated Gilgamesh's sword. A light pushed back his light and must have injured him, who was unscathed up to now. A frighteningly murderous intent. It feels like he needs to kill everything he sees in order to calm down. But the Golden Knight leaves silently. Huh? I didn't even have time to be surprised. I don't know why he left, but even my fading mind knows that the battle is over. My knees give away. All tension disappears and my body falls to the ground. Shirou! Saber instantly supports me. With Saber supporting me, I look down at my body. I let out a gasp. My wounds are so bad, they cannot be treated. My body, cut from my left shoulder, should have died instantly. Oh, this is too... I must be barely alive because that healing power, but it must have its limits. My body is almost split in two. I'm sure nothing will be able to fix it now. I can't even tell if I'm still breathing or not, and my consciousness is starting to fade. The end is near, but the fortunate thing is about Saber. I have a fatal wound, but it seems Saber is just fatigued. She is unarmed now, and her wounds are completely healed. So, even if I retire now, Tosaka should be able to do something. That sound again. A sound as if my bones are creaking is coming from my body. I look down at my wound. What? There are many swords. What looks like the blades of swords are layered on top of each other and crowding together to connect my separated body, making that sound. I feel dizzy. It feels like every bone in my body, every muscle in my body is made out of these swords. Huh? There's no such thing. It must have been my imagination, as my body is just fine. As proof of that, my separated body is starting to connect, and my cuts are healing quickly. It's more like restoration than healing. This is more creepy than strange. What? It seems I'll be saved, but this is too... I'm glad. It seems that you will not die, Master. I hear Saber's voice by my ear. It's really close by. Well, that's great, but what's going on? Trying to finish, I'm assailed by dizziness. Then, my body is enclosed by soft arms. Look at this. This is a beautiful moment right here. Just a lot of blood, granted, but the detail, oh my god, it's just, so the music, such a good moment right here. Saber? No, I finally understand it is only natural for your body to heal. I can't stay conscious. It's because I produce too much magical energy. My tired mind wants to sleep right now. How strong is she? Saber wraps her arms around me and holds me tight. I finally understand. You are my sheath, Shirou. She says so in a deep, seeping voice. The feeling is so comfortable that my remaining consciousness fades away. I'm glad to be saved, and I let my body sleep. But before that, I complained to myself that it would have been more perfect if our situations were reversed. Yo, if anybody wants to cry right now, do it! This is definitely a crying moment. No, I don't want to skip this. I don't want to skip any of this. Why is that option appearing all of a sudden? At the end, I see that red hill once more. A red memory. I dive deeper into her memory and I realize this is the last time. There are the memories of a night which I have seen many times before. After becoming king and becoming the will of the country by killing her own will, her days were filled with neglect even from her trusted knights. Every time she won a battle, Arturia was made to wish for a battle she did not wish for. She continued to hide her sex, surrounded by suspicion. What awaited this isolated girl was a rebellion by one of her relatives. A young knight took over the country while the king was on an expedition. The man's name was Mordred. The knight, who was son of Morgan, the sister of the King of Knights, was actually the son of the King of Knights. To start at the end, Arturia could not have children as a woman, but Mordred certainly inherited the blood of Arturia. Arturia's older sister, Morgan, I'm not sure how far she went, but she despised Arturia for becoming king even though Arturia was younger than her. Mordred was created as her other self. He served the king as a knight with an unknown father, waited for his chance to take over the throne, and finally organized a revolt. This was the battle later known as the Battle of Camlan, the end of King Arthur. King Arthur discovered Mordred's betrayal on her expedition and returned to her homeland with her tired troops to invade her own territory. She slashed away knights that used to serve her. She attacked the land she once protected. The few knights that stayed with her died off, and the only ones standing in the end were her and Mordred. Their personal combat ended with the king's victory, but she did not emerge unscathed. Mordred was bound by a strong curse, so he still swung his sword even after his death and left a fatal wound on the king. This is the end of his battle. The last of her, the one called the King of Knights. It must have been painful. Come to think of it, none of her battles were painless. Every one of her 12 battles was severe, and this just happened to be the greatest wound appropriate for her end. She returned to Britain and destroyed her own army. She punished the knights who used to serve her, and the knights following her all died. And in the end, she had to kill her own son, even if he was son only in name. I cannot tell what went through her mind, but I have to wish. The lone king, who tried to be a king until her last moments. I wish that her last dream might have been a normal one that the girl called Arturia might wish for. I opened my eyes. I don't know when I got back, but I'm in my room lying on my futon. Oh, you have awoken, Shirou. Saber, why am I? You have been sleeping since that time. Your body is almost completely healed, so you do not need to worry. I see, that's great, but what about Saber? If my wound is healed, I'm fine, but Saber's different. Even though she can heal her wounds, her magical energy isn't infinite. It wouldn't be a problem if she had just fought, but she used Excalibur. Saber, were you treating me all this time? I merely wiped your sweat. I cannot treat wounds as Reen does. Idiot. You didn't need to do that. It must be more painful for you right now. That is not true. I only have a light wound compared to you. But I cannot ignore what you just said. Even if your wounds have healed, they were bad enough that you could have died. Please worry about yourself for now. Saying so, Saber reaches for the wash bowl beside her. There's a cold towel in there. After squeezing the water out of it, she wipes my sweating body. I'm really embarrassed. Shirou, does your wound hurt? It seems you are getting a fever again. I don't have a fever. No, you could just rest for now. You might be all right, but you used Excalibur, so you should be the one resting. You'll collapse again at this rate. Well, that is true, but... She hesitates, squeezing the towel. But I am doing better than you right now. It is only natural for me to protect you until you get better. What's with that? I can't object if she says so with that kind of an expression. Then you'll rest once I recover, Saber? Of course. I need to sleep as well. Saber says so in her usual tone. So, I let Saber take care of me and suppress my embarrassment. Time passes slowly. Have I ever looked so closely at Saber without doing anything? Saber is the same as always, the moonlight is shining on her. Looking at her now, she really is feminine. White fingers and slender arms. She looks so lovely that it doesn't seem like she would be capable of fighting. That's why I can't stay calm. She's been fighting all this time with that slim body of hers. Shirou, why are you staring at my arm? I do not want to suspect this, but are you comparing my arms to those of Reen? Wait, does Reen have, like, huge arms? What is I don't even know. Is she angry or sulking? She has such slender arms, but she thinks her arms aren't cute at all. Probably because there's some muscle on them, but they're rather cute to me. Why is it that women there are some women that are just like, I can't have muscular arms. No muscle. I don't get that. I think however way the person's body look is the best. However way they want it to look. No, that wound doesn't hurt, so I was just spacing out. It's not like I have anything to say about your arms. I see, that is good. Saber seems relieved, then. Saber notices something as she closes her eyes and nods. So your wound is fine now? I was seriously angry before, but I forget about it if you are alright. It is rather late to say this, but I thank you, Shirou. And I am really happy that you are safe. She says happily. Then she smiles faintly. What? She's smiling about such a thing? I recall her memories in my dream. She didn't know happiness or entertainment, but she's going to smile about something like this. No, she can only smile at somebody else's safety and not at her own happiness. Those words from before, that she was happier seeing me smile. She said that with a satisfied expression. I'm going mad. I really feel like I'm crazy and... Shirou? I hug Saber with all of my strength. Shirou, what are you doing? She wriggles to try to free herself. I ignore that and brace her tighter. Shirou, please stop. I do not know what is going on, but this is going too far for a joke. Her arms resist me, but I don't listen. Shirou, please. Saber raises her arm to hit me. To that, it's okay. Listen, you have to smile for your own sake. I say so from the bottom of my heart. Shirou? I don't know why she hesitated. I just spat out what was inside of me. Hey, it ain't the only thing you're gonna be spitting out, you know what I'm saying? That's terrible. Why? I can understand her being focused on the Holy Grail, but I can never approve of that. I want her to know normal happiness. I think it'll all be a lie if she doesn't, because all the time, she's fought for others. So she should be as happy as the people she's mad about. She's made happy. Wow. Are you crying? When she asks that, I realize my eyes are watery. Not because I'm sad. It's just too vexing. I'm annoyed that Saber can only smile for others. It's just that my head went crazy because it pissed me off so much. Saber, isn't this enough? You've done your best. You fought even by yourself. So, you have to find your own happiness. You fulfilled your oath, so you can return to being Arturia. What are you talking about? Like, why are you talking about that? Yeah, I'll keep on saying it. I can't help it because I've fallen in love with you. That's why Saber... No, Arturia. I won't give up until you change your mind. I yell and embrace Saber as if to stop her from struggling. She's weak. She curls up in my arms and looks away. Shirou, please do not bother me. This is unpleasant even if you are my master. I'll move away if you do not want this. I said I love you, so I'll let you go if you don't love me. Saber doesn't answer. She just hangs her head to escape my stare. You are being unfair. You knew my past, but you continue to invade me. You should know my answer already, so why? Why are you still concerned about me? You must have seen all the sins I have committed. Yeah, I did. She sacrificed many people in the name of the king and killed many enemies. I don't intend to ignore that or pretend it didn't happen. But still, even knowing that, I want that girl named Arturia to become happy. So what? I don't know what this emotion is, I just can't leave you alone. Please smile. I want to be with you, Saber. A childlike, unilateral confession. Saber bites her lip, still hanging her head. My answer will not change. I cannot break my oath as a king. Even if I was not appropriate for the role, I was entrusted with my country as the king. I could not fulfill my duty, so this freedom is not permitted to me. She looks at me straight on like she's about to cry. Oh, this about to... Whoa! Our eyes meet, rejecting words and responding, body? When I notice, I am kissing Saber while embracing her body. I could feel Saber's breath through my mouth. Hesitation at first. Saber places her hands on my chest as if to push me away. She does not push me away, but tenses her body. Our lips are only slightly touching. I am not tasting Saber's soft lips, nor am I pressing hard against them. A clumsy kiss, only to feel her lips with mine. It is a beautiful kiss that does not arouse excitement nor desire. Her small body. I just find the shaken girl so dear. I don't know how long we've been like this. It's not just her lips that I'm feeling. Hey, it ain't just the lips, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling her body while whoa! There's another thing I have to, I don't need to miss. I need to remember that this just happened. So I can censor that and take that out. If you're watching, on the YouTubes, they were having a threesome. Yep. I can't help but recall that night, but this feeling is different. I want to embrace her harder. Hey, it ain't the only thing I'm going to embrace harder, Saber, you know what I'm saying? I want to embrace her harder and tell her more about how I feel, not just for my lust, but I want Saber to be happy about being here. Shirou, that kiss was... Does she want to say it's a mistake? She looks up at me with a face about to cry. It's not a mistake. I'll say it as many times as I need to. I love you, and I just can't just let you go. Tell me if you don't like it. Tell me that you're only a master and a servant, and contradict me. Jesus, how unfair! Are you telling me to say such a thing? Yeah, I won't hold back if you won't tell me clearly. If you won't refuse me, I want to do it with you right now. Hey, hey, Saber. Hey, remember that one night? You know when you needed the magical energy? I got some more magical energy for you. I said it right. I said it straight to her face while blushing. I said it believing it the best sincerity I can do. A long silence. Saber looks up at me and lowers my face. I thought there was only one sex scene in this route. Are we about to have another one? Sex is really funny when it comes to anime. I don't know why. Shirou, does that mean you will make love to me like you did that night? A weak power is put into her hand on my chest. She grabs my shirt with weak strength. That's different. We were desperate and we couldn't do anything back then. I didn't want to do such a thing. I want to treat you more valuably and do it with just the two of us. Just the two of us. I see. I understand how you feel. Saber puts power into her arms. She taps. She's gonna play taps. She's got a trumpet. She gets out the trumpet. She starts playing taps. She pushes me and gets away from me. Saber, I have a proposal as well. Please look away until I tell you to, Shirou. I didn't know we were having another one right here. Very interesting. Saber's voice is too frail. I nod back and turn around. I hear a small sound. It sounds like paper rubbing together or water flowing. Then I notice it's the sound of clothes rustling. How do you not, immediately know that? I'm done. You can turn back now, Shirou. I open my eyes and turn back to her. Hey, it's naked Saber. White body, glowing in the darkness. You can't see any of this right now, but she's naked. Everything goes away the moment I see her. There's no hesitation nor desire. What is before me is just so beautiful that my mind goes blank. Saber. Turning her back, Saber averts her gaze while hiding her breasts. She must be embarrassed about exposing her bare skin. This is so ridiculous. Even the red tint. Red tint? What? What is he talking about? There's no red tint anywhere. Even the red tint is so beautiful that it blows my mind away. I cannot answer your feeling, but I support your idea. Support, you mean? I used my noble phantasm. In any case, I cannot fight unless I receive your power. Hey, you receive my power, Saber, hey! Please, take off your clothes, Shirou. We are going to embrace each other. So I need for you to be naked as well, so I can feel you. Oh! And it is unfair like this. I would like to see you naked as well. My heart jumps. I thought my heart would explode from just that line. I would like to see you. It's so unfair. Nobody would be able to stay calm if she says such a thing. Shirou, are you not going to do it? Saber says so while she blushes. Her voice contains anxiety, embarrassment, and hidden hope. What if just fucking Reen walks in? It's like, what you guys doing? Still not my play. I bet Reen would be like, yo, can I join? We did that last time. Still numb, I place my hands on my clothes. Repair is hopeless. My mind is completely destroyed by Saber's bare skin and words. I take off my clothes to answer her request. Hey, the boobs. Them bobs. Saber sits on... Oh, she has her hair down this time. Saber sits down on the futon. When I get naked, Saber... This is so freaking ridiculous. I think she's interested in my naked body. She looks at me from time to time with her face blushing. Hey, isn't sex funny, everybody? Don't we just all laugh at people being naked? If I talk about blushing, I bet I'm blushing more. Much more than her. She made me realize all the more, but Saber is just too cute. She is trained as a knight, but no muscle on her is hard. But my muscle's hard, you know what I'm saying, Saber? Oh god, that's terrible. Slender arms and legs. Her body that has yet to mature. Oh god, that's not a line I wanted to hear. Her body that has yet to mature is sweet, yet dignified. What is up with this, Saber is, the same age as Shirou shtick? She is not the same age. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't care if fucking Nasu himself was nah, man, Saber's 12. I don't give a shiz, okay? She is not 17. She is like old as fudge. Well, she's not really old as fudge, but you know, she's like in her 20s or something like that. But what makes her so different? Like, she's like legitimately in her 20s. Like, she's like legit in her 20s. She's not... Do people in Japan... I'm sorry, I'm getting really angry about this. It's just they try to make it pervy and shit. It just doesn't need to be. It already is pervy. They didn't even make it more weird. Saber, you took your hair down? Yes, I only fastened my hair during battle. I thought I would not need to do so right now. Well, we better go do battle soon. You know what I'm saying, Saber? You may want to put your hair up. That's the reason I was memorized. With her hair down, there is no trace of her as a swordsman. She is bare naked right now. That is true. Shirou, we are starting, right? Then having you stand up is somewhat troubling. The line troubles me more. To be honest, my body would not move. Saber is just so beautiful that I have no idea how to start, so that I can get her happy. First of all, this is the first time I have been like this with a girl, and even though, well, I mean, you were with Saber the other time, so this is the second time. And even though I'm the one who proposed this, my head is so blank. Hold on, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm not ready yet? No, I am, but it went away when I saw you. What went away? I say a shameful thing while burning my eyes. Looking at me? Saber looks at me in question, a total cruelty for me. Why? This is what you have proposed, so nothing should hold you back. No, well, because you're so beautiful it was a surprise, and I was shocked. Oh, that's what went away. Poor Shirou. Our standpoints have reversed. Saber's skin and her stare are so embarrassing that I admit so while averting my gaze. Why? You have already seen my naked body before. I didn't. If I did, I wouldn't be able to talk to you. I'm not that strong. If I saw it, I would have been hitting on you the moment we got out of the forest. Shirou? Saber looks at me with more wonder. Crap, I'm so embarrassed that my head is empty and it's about to crack. So it was so dark I was in a panic and I was just too into it. See, we were so desperate at the time. I see. My naked body must have been nothing for you. Oh, God. Hey, that's not true. Of course I was fascinated by your body at that time. But you were in pain. You weren't the only one. I had my hands fully restraining myself. And I had to act calm even after it so that I wouldn't attack you. Well, that's not true, but, man, I feel like I'm getting deeper into the hole the more I talk. Just fucking bang already! God damn it! I have to get out of this conversation to get calm, or I won't be able to see her. Yes, so what is it, Shirou? Saber is acting more calm. Man, what happened to her being so embarrassed? Please be clear, Shirou, or morning will come. It ain't the only thing that will come, you know what I'm saying, Saber? Hey! Saber looks at me with a smile. Damn. I feel like I just lost a match, but it'll be more shameful if I change the subject right now. So, we're naked, but you could say I have no guts, but, you're just so beautiful that I don't know how I should do it. I throw away my pride and tell her honestly, because everything I knew was blown away. I don't know what'll make her happy as I was memorized by her and was just standing there like an idiot. That is so unlike you. Did she laugh? Saber looked up at me. All right. I shall start in that case. She smiles. The smile she always gives me when answering my trust. Huh? Still kneeling on the futon, Saber makes her way over to me. Oh, you are tense as well, Shirou. The voice comes from right below me, right by my waist. What is she about to do? Saber is looking at my contracted thing. Oh! Yes! This is funny. This is hilarious. Okay, guys, listen to this. This is great. Cute. I should make it big. Hey, Saber! Please do not move. Stay as you are, Shirou. What? I stop halfway. I feel Saber's fingers. Saber gently wraps her fingers around my dick as if holding something precious. Oh! I only touched it and it's getting so hard. I feel blood rushing into my waist. I'm having so much fun right now. This one's so much funnier than the first one. My dick, that was so... My dick, that was so tense, is standing up from just one stroke. Saber, hold up. My voice tried to stop her is so small. It's embarrassing. Oh, I should do it like Shirou does. Saber, hold on. Oh. It's really embarrassing, but I don't want Saber to stop. I want her to continue. I mean, you know, as any man would. Even my head is empty. I'm wishing for more. And no, don't worry about me, Saber. It's like a fight with him. He's like, don't worry about me, Saber. I will sacrifice myself for you right now. But I summon all the reasoning. You know, Shirou is kind of like a combination of like a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh characters. Like a bunch of just the shonen pro tags. I love it. But I summon all the reasoning inside of me to place my hand on Saber's shoulders. But please, let me handle it, Shirou. Even I know how to make a man happy. Oh, do you now? She stops me by kissing it with her breath. Oh, jeez! That's some fellatio right there. I don't know if I can say any of this. I have to pull my waist back because of the strong sensation. God, can we go to another photo, please? My reasoning is really blown away. The soft sensation around my tip. My thing is covered in a wet, warm mouth. Saber, this is... It's like the dialogue is so descriptive. It's almost like Nasu is like, okay, if people are playing this and they don't know what the things they're doing right now are, I have to be able to describe them to the reader. The reader has to know what all these things are. I know this is a blowjob, but Saber is doing such a thing. I don't know if I should say half of this crap. It's terrible. Shirou, it is all right, so please come forward. I mean, she's already got a lot of it in there. The wet feeling of electricity runs through my spine. The instant I realize it's Saber's tongue, the electricity burns up my brain. Oh God, no! Hold on, Saber. No, Saber, you... I can't tell her she doesn't need to do this. I realized for the first time that there exists a temptation that is so hard to resist that I have to grip my teeth. Good, Shirou, you are getting bigger. My cock is already fully erect. I'm getting lightheaded because I'm laughing so much and I'm not breathing. My meat that is surrounded by Saber's finger is ridiculously erect and showing grotesque veins. Oh my God, I gotta screenshot that one. Oh God, she's making sounds now? Crap. That's really what he says. He says crap. I grip my teeth to keep myself from fainting. Her lips capture the head of my cock. They gently move back and forth, and the instant she puts it in her mouth, her tongue licks right behind the head. She's commenting on, I guess, about, I'm trying to think of another way to say it. I guess you know, the little rain droplets before the rainstorm, I guess. Her caress is so soft, and she is only trying to please me. Saber swallows my member, without putting her mouth on the shaft. She wraps her fingers around it. Why am I... This is so bad. Oh my god. I feel myself rubbing on her. Oh, she's talking about it getting very large now. She's talking to me while she is performing. No! No! With a wet sound. No! This is great. She deep throats it for an instant and presses the tip. Where did she learn all this? Wasn't she like a virgin before? I don't believe this. This writing is insane. I believe this is just Nasu wanted to bang Saber. I think this is what really went on here. Nasu wanted to bang Saber, and Nasu is like, I gotta think of some way to insert myself into... I'm tired of looking at Shirou's dick and Saber with her mouth on it. Can we go to a different photo, please? Monkeys in the back. Okay. She is, well, I'll just say it. Saber is drinking down what is flowing out of me. I'm not sure if this... She says, that is good. Please feel me more. I don't know. His tongue is numb. Okay. She knows tricks with her tongue, apparently. His brain is being melted. Just like that time when I went to a Megadeth concert. This has just gone into depravity at this point. I don't think I can say half of this. Her figure drives me nuts. I can say that. Wildly caressed. I don't need to like zoom in on her. Oh, she's getting into it. Oh, okay. That's a grotesque image. Using the liquid spilling out of her mouth as lubrication. God, that's so terrible. My meat expands to its limits. Oh my god. Are we just... Why is there so much detail on this blowjob? I don't get it. Why are we still doing the blowjob thing? Clear liquids flow down her chin. That's so bad. Okay. Only... Oh, alright. Nothing's really happening right now. He's just describing the feeling. My mind is going white. I want to just melt. I can only hear Saber's breaths and the sound of the sucking. Oh, he wanted to say fuck right there, but he didn't. She carefully caresses me. Her warm mouth is now hot as fire. She apparently got very greedy. I want to let it out on her face and push her down. God. He really wants to just, like, do some really dirty shit to her. I'm really tired of looking at Shirou's dick right now. I really am. I wouldn't say I was too keen on it to begin with. I put my waist back with my shaking knees, but this place seems to be in pain as well, Shirou. Saber's right hand reaches down below my shaft. What? What is she doing? Oh, no! I jump at a totally different sensation. What? Saber has reached... Oh, I thought we were going for some, some backdoor action. Saber has reached under my shaft to, I can't bear this. He's talking about exploding. Oh, she's talking about how big and hard it is. He can't concentrate. He has to concentrate, though. But he can't. He can't do any of this. Well, then I shall attack you here. It is natural to attack the weakest point. Her fingers dance around my, well, I think you get it. I'm not gonna say it. Because already I'm probably breaking TOS. Like this, just by some of these words. My back tenses up. I'm about to explode. Is it tough, Shirou? I don't know what that means. This is much more than that. I'll collapse if she does any more. I won't be able to bear it if she whatever. Yes, you can relieve yourself now. Shirou, please give yourself to me. Saber's mouth contracts. That's terrible. Oh, God. I let it out. He's like... Without knowing, I have grabbed Saber's head. Did I grab for balance since I arched my back from the great sensation? Or did I just want her to take me in? Why? We don't need to focus in on this. We definitely don't need to focus in. Saber doesn't resist. She sucks on my ejaculating penis. We don't need to, see it up close, man. God damn it, Nasu. She's very happy about this. I don't get it. Her lips move away. A lot of it's... Yeah. Uh-huh. She's still, playing with it. Oh, God. Oh. This is Shirou's smell. She's smelling my baby batter. That's disgusting. Not mine. Shirou's. Saber puts her fingers... she's having a 5-star meal right now to her. That's disgusting. Oh. Well, now she's just covered in the stuff. I gotta skip past all this shit. I already know what it's saying. It's just talking about how hot she is and shit like that. Oh, look, it's a girl covered in my cum. It's so hot. Oh. Now he's performing on her. Hey, at least he's a good partner. Oh, is she oh, okay. She's really into it. I can totally see her pussy. Oh god, I'm gonna skip past a lot of this. It is literally just the description of what's happening. Oh my god, there's so much of it! Wait, listen to that. There's so much to click through! Something about flowing juices. Saber's jumping. She's really into it. Ah. Alright, we got it! I've never been more bored by a sex scene. This is boring. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's like drinking it? What? Is she about to... Oh, okay. I thought she was... Alright. He was very into her fluids, I'll just say that. I grabbed Saber's legs. Alright, here we go. It's the part where they bang. He's putting it in again. Alright, that's interesting. I feel like these sex scenes are definitely not worth it. It's like the initial thing wears off and it's like you have to deal with the rest of the dialogue. I don't care about any of this! Get through the sex scene, quick! Hurry! Just press the space bar. Huh? Yeah, let's keep doing it. Yeah! How? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty good. Looks like they're having fun. I'm not. Oh, Nips, zoom in. Come on, get through this. How much dialogue can there be in a goddamn sex scene? I'm sorry, some of this is, I don't know. And sensation like I'm being pulled in. He finally explodes. I think we're done. And a dream is over. Wow. Never doing a sex scene again. That was ridiculous. Saber is lying there and I cannot get up from my exhaustion. We're collapsed together in the darkness. Our body temperature hits our tired minds. Saber. I call out to the girl laying beside me. The question I asked before I had sex with her. To find out the reply from me wanting her. Magical energy replenishment has been completed. I can fight as your servant starting tomorrow. Saber. That is it for now, Shirou. My role is to protect you and obtain the Holy Grail. I cannot think about anything else until this battle is over. But, man, he just got the cold shoulder. Is that not right? Because you have chosen to fight to end this war. I cannot argue against her. If I want to do something about us, I have to end this war beforehand. First of all, we have to defeat the man who's after Saber, or I can't protect her. But, do we have a way to defeat that king of heroes? We grow quiet and stare at the darkness. How long were we like that? Right when my body wants to take a rest and my eyes start to close. Huh? I feel something on my hand. Saber? Yes, let us think tomorrow, Shirou. We might come up with a good plan tomorrow, and I would like to sleep like this for now. She says so while holding my hand. Yeah, I wanted to do so too. Yes, good night, Shirou. Let us return to our previous selves when we wake up. I close my eyes with her close to me. My last vision of Saber sees her smiling warmly. I don't care if that was just for this night. Right now, her hand is warm. This is more than enough for me right now as I fall into a comfortable sleep. I fall asleep, without knowing if we will be able to keep our hands connected even after everything is over.